Let's talk about power a little bit, though. He finished second to below. He's now second in the point standings as well. Our friend Jackson Lambro certainly eating some crow for that one. But maybe our friend Alex here is as well, because Colton Herta is fourth, 25 points out of the lead. So he is very much within striking distance, actually tied for third in terms of being on level with points with Scott Dixon. Of course, Dixon has a tiebreaker with a win at the moment. Of course, it is still very early, though. Now, yesterday on pre-race, it was mentioned that Herta needed to run his race, not get in trouble or make a mistake due to starting in the back of the field and come away and salvage a top 10 finish. He did that and got the biggest move of the race award. He did have some early contact with Marcus Ericsson, which got him upset, but he was able to cool down, move forward, and still come away with a solid result. So, Alex, we have to start with you on this one. Has Colton Herta proven that he is, in fact, a championship contender and not the weakest link at Andretti?
It's race 4. It's too early. But to be serious, though, this is a really strong performance from Colton Herta this past weekend. I was very impressed with it. I watched the race, and I thought when he was going to be way back in like the 20s, like, oh, well, it's over. He's going to overdrive, and he's going to crash and finish in like 25th or whatever. He didn't do that. He actually came back up and got a top 10. That Colton Herta of like even last year, I don't think could have done that. It was honestly a very impressive drive, and kudos to him for doing that. And it was on his team, the fact that he had to drive through the field because they didn't put enough fuel in his car for qualifying, which that's a silly move on Andretti Autosport, or Andretti Global's part, excuse me. But yeah, Colton Herta, well, I want to see how he can do in the later part of the season, because this Indy race was probably one of the better races of his career that he did not win, honestly. But I'm not ready to say that. Yeah, Kyle Kirkwood's not having as strong of a start as I thought he would. Marcus Ericsson's having a very bizarre season. Matter of fact, he is who pushed Colton off the track early in this race. But Colton right now, he's leading Andretti, but I'm not ready to take back what I said in our preseason show. No.
Yeah, and I'll say I think it's too early for me to say if Colton Herta is going to be a true championship contender, but I will say I believe we've seen a matured race car driver in Colton Herta, and in the situations we've seen him hit in earlier this year, he wouldn't have been able to finish where he finished. So I think that's a great. We usually see, him do a little too much, get himself in trouble, and then the finish is exactly where it shouldn't be. So I believe that Colton Herta is starting to mature and get much better as a race car driver, but I wouldn't go as far to say that he's like one of the main championship contenders so far in 2024. But I think give it a few more races, we'll see how he does, and then maybe he'll emerge as one of those championship favorites. But certainly he's looking like the strongest driver at Andretti right now over his teammates Kyle Kirkwood and Marcus Ericsson. And yeah, Herta was not happy at all with Marcus Ericsson. He believed Ericsson should have raced him with a lot more respect, being a teammate who was leading the championship. And I guess it seems like whoever's in that 28 car, whether it's Ericsson or Grosjean, always ruffling feathers there. And Andretti, and also the point in qualifying you brought up, Alex, I really don't understand how you let the car run out of fuel in qualifying. I guess that'll be the latest excuse Liberty Media used for Formula, will use against Andretti Global for F1. Be like, that's why you can't go to F1 because you let your cars run out of fuel for qualifying. But I guess that's a story for another day.
So, Ben, I'll tell you this. If Colton Herta can go a full season, 17 races in a row, excluding thermals, that's not a race, 17 races in a row, without crashing himself, I'll take back what I said. I'll say he's not the weakest link. If he can go a full season without crashing himself for no reason.
What if he has one crash for no reason, but also wins 6 races in the same season on his way to a championship? But he had that one race where he crashed on his own, but he recovered from it to win a title.
I'll believe that. That sounds like a miracle. I'll believe that when I see it. Like, okay. I don't think that's happening, but
if
that happens, yeah, sure.
It's still not as bad as what Jackson said, and that's proven by the standings right now, because there's only a few drivers ahead of Herta in the standings, and Will Power is one of them. So
Power is a true championship contender, but it's gonna be hard to beat Alex Palou.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And to Kobe's point as well, maybe that will be something that Liberty use against Andretti, even though there's also a team that only just now has a spare chassis here. What are we, 5 or 6 rounds into the season here? So, but again, probably something for a future roundtable or grid tonight. So we'll leave it there.